From the beginning. You'll see.
You just ask.
Hey, everybody. I'm Misty Buck, president of Miss Inc., and we are here for another Marketing Monday. It is hot and steamy outside. Yesterday was the first official day of summer, so it's a little cloudy. It's a little hot, but here we are in Miami. How lucky are we on this Marketing Monday? And today, oh my gosh, we have so many M's. So we have Marketing Monday. We have Misty. I got Marries Gomez here. She's the director of operations with 24/7 Nursing Care. We're going to learn all about what she does and how they've grown their practice with their marketing tactics. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a second. But guys, before we get into the show, did you know today, June, sorry, we're not in July yet. We're in June 21st. It is National, I just hit myself in the face with the mic. You see what happens live? National Selfie Day. So we're going to actually take a selfie really quickly. So I'm sorry if you're watching, but we're going to take a selfie because it is National Selfie Day. Camera, yay. All right, so now we can get into the show. So Marries, go ahead and introduce yourself. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me, Misty. I'm Marries Gomez with 24/7 Nursing Care, and we are very excited to be here today on Marketing Monday with you. We are here to talk about what we do, how we serve the community, and how the importance is of having everybody join forces and knowing the importance of 24/7 nursing care and the need that we serve.
Yeah, so let's just talk about that real quickly. So before we kind of get into how you guys have built this incredible business that is just exploding and spreading, and you guys are all over the place, tell us a little bit about 24/7 Nursing Care. So what exactly is it?
24/7 Nursing Care, it's a nurse registry. We are servicing Miami-Dade, Broward County, and we do extend to Monroe County, which is the Florida Keys. We offer aids. We offer help when the need arises in someone's home. When you can't be left alone, you invite us into our home. What that means is we are there to help you. We are there to help you with your loved one and the needs that arise every day that we take for granted, and just help you make their lives more comfortable in their home.
I love that. So the name says 24/7.
And
are you really 24/7?
We are really 24/7 nursing care. We get a call at 2 a.m. that you need something for your loved one that we're already taking care of, and we're there to help. We answer the phones 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays, Monday through Sunday. We have no breaks. Our staff is there dedicated to helping your loved one and our clients in whatever they need. So yes, 24/7.
I really, really love that. So tell us a little bit about, I want to get into the business too, but you guys are really involved in the community. So this 24/7 model that you have has been really, really helpful for a lot of people. So actually I have another question before we get into that. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Is there a story when you guys were like, I'm sure there's so many, but like, what's one of the ones that stands out in your mind as you came to somebody in their time of need when they needed, maybe it was mom, dad, a spouse, whoever, couldn't really take care of themselves anymore. Maybe something happened. Maybe it was a last minute surgery that they had to have. Like, what are some of those? What's like one story that stands out to you?
There's a lot of stories. Like you said, it's hard to choose, but the ones that stand out the most is when you have someone, a son or a daughter, calling for their loved one, and they've lived in their home and they're debating whether to put them in an assisted living facility, to put them in a nursing home, or to be able to keep them at home, in the home that they helped raise them, that they actually had all their holidays in, that they had their Thanksgiving dinners in. And for them, it's very important to keep them in that home. So we step in and we actually, they thank us because mom or dad, they're aging with integrity. They're aging in their home. They're aging with what's familiar to them. And that's priceless. When they call us and they say, thank you for helping us, keeping mom at home, it means the world to us. They're not in a facility. They could go in and out whenever they need to. And it's just, it's nice to be able to be that person for them and helping them in the time of need to what they need.
I love that. And they don't necessarily have to have a specific need. They could have just need a caregiver or just need a companion, right?
A lot of times they just need a companion. They don't need, it's not because they're ailing. It's not because of a surgery. It's not because of anything. It's just, it gets lonely, especially with COVID. During COVID, a lot of the elderly population was at home. We didn't want them to go out. We wanted to keep them safe in their bubble. So we have caregivers. We followed all the CDC guidelines. We made sure everything was how it needed to be, and they felt comfortable.
That's awesome.
We were there to keep them engaged. We were there to keep them as a companion. They would talk about their families. They would show them pictures. Just that in and itself alone for their mental health, which is extremely important, was crucial at that time.
Right. And I got to imagine that even though you were serving Broward, Miami, and the Keys, that you're getting people calling you from all over the place. I think we talked about this a little bit, that even people in, like, for instance, like New York or other parts of the country might say, oh my gosh, I'm so far from my parents and I can't get to them right now with everything going on. And they can call you and you can send somebody.
Absolutely. And that's another part of our business model. A lot of, we're online. You could find us on any social media. So I call kids, but the kids are in their 50s and their 60s taking care of their aging parents.
Right.
They'll go online and they'll find us, and we're there. Like you said, they're in New York, they're in Washington. We have clients that their children are in California, and they just call us to make sure that their parents are okay. It might not be an all-day event. We might take care of them for 4 hours out of the day just to make sure they eat their meals. We help them with getting stuff done around the house, and that's where, it's priceless when we're able to help them. It really is
priceless. Like knowing that you have somebody there and that they're certified, that they're trained properly. You're not just sending anybody there.
Right.
You guys do background screenings. Talk to us about that. Like, how do you find these caregivers and nurses and home health aides? And
it's very important because we do follow all of the state of Florida guidelines. But one of the most important things, like you mentioned, are background checks. You want to know who's going into your home. You want to make sure that this person is someone that we've checked out. We've dotted our I's. We've crossed our T's. We make sure that this is someone that we could have in your home. We could make sure that, they're credentialed correctly to what the state of Florida guidelines need to be. We make sure that it's a good match, which is another very important thing. We're not just sending a warm body into your home. We are making sure that if your mom likes to read, we make sure we send her someone that maybe likes to read as well. And we refer them someone that has something in common, so that mental aspect is also taken into account.
I absolutely love that. That's so smart. So no wonder you guys have been doing so well over the years since you came, into the market here, and you've just really grown and you've expanded. So when you guys do a lot in the community, like you're always out there, you're always at all these different events, you're in Miami, you're in Broward, you're here, you're there. So tell us about how, and it's not just like networking organizations, you get involved with organizations and causes and events that benefit the elderly population, correct?
We do.
Right. So talk to us a little bit like that. How that, so, we like to bring in marketing on this show. Of course, we call it Marketing Monday. And I think anytime you're getting your message out there and you're meeting people, that's a piece of marketing. So essentially being out there and getting to know people and supporting these different causes and really being in the community is a huge part of your marketing. So talk to us a little bit about that, about some of these groups that you're involved with and what they're doing and kind of what's going on there.
We're involved in a lot of groups, like you said, a lot of chamber events. We're very prominent in our community. We think it's important to make sure that we serve our community. These are the individuals that we're serving, so we want to know more about them and how we could help them. We are very involved with the Alzheimer's Association. A lot of our clients are Alzheimer's patients.
Right.
So by them being Alzheimer's patients, it's something that I want everybody to know more about. And if we could help them in anything, if we could learn more about the disease process, if we could learn about how we could help them in our community, that's always priority for us. And we're involved, like you mentioned, with a lot of chamber events. And we believe that giving back to the community is also very important, not only with elderly communities, but we give our time to his house. We donate, we charitable events at Christmas time. We do just randomly give for food for the foster children. There's a lot of aspects that we do at 24/7 nursing care that aren't only tied into business. It's community. It's making sure that we serve the community that we live in and the community that we're serving.
I love that. And you guys serve on boards of organizations. And
we do. We do. We do a lot of boards. I know that we're on the board at the Pinecrest Business Association. I'm on the board. I'm the vice president for the Florida board for the PCA, which is the Association for Nurse Registries in all the state of Florida.
I did not know that.
There's a lot that we partake in. We are involved 110%. We don't want to just make sure it's not just the business model. We make sure we look at everything and service everything how it should be.
Right. I love it. So in doing that and being so much a part of the community, How have you? Well, let's go back for a second because you were talking about the Alzheimer's thing, and we know that's a type of dementia.
It is a type of
right?
dementia.
So, like, what are you guys seeing going on in that area right now? No, there's research. I see studies all the time.
There's a lot of studies. Dementia is one of the largest ailing factors in the aging population. And Alzheimer's is one of the main ones. There's also Parkinson's. There's other umbrellas of it, but Alzheimer's is probably the one we deal with the most. And we do take care of a lot of clients that you look at them and they're perfectly fine.
Right.
You know, my grandmother has Alzheimer's and she looks perfectly fine. She's able-bodied, but her mind isn't there. And we come in when you're worried that mom's not going to be drinking enough water during the day. That's crucial, important, especially in these Miami heat that we have.
Yes.
It's important for them to make sure that they're not leaving the stove on. It's important that they're not wandering off. All these things that we take for granted, that mom looks fine, these are things that we step in. Right. This is when we step in and we make sure that they get the care that they deserve.
So what are some, I know you guys are not the physicians and you're not going to make a diagnosis, but like, what are some of the signs that you're looking for when you're saying, okay, so maybe this person needs more care than just living completely independently. Maybe they need somebody like a caregiver or a nurse to come in and kind of help them keep an eye on these things like you're saying.
And there's a lot of things that you can notice, just little things. I always say what we take for granted. If they're maybe brushing their teeth, something as simple as not putting toothpaste on the toothbrush. That's a little sign. If they're driving, which a lot of the elderly population still drives, and there's 80-year-olds out there that are still able-bodied, they're driving, but they forget where they put their keys.
Right.
You might find that they can't find their keys for an entire day. Or they're telling you about their physician, or they're telling you about their neighbor, someone that they've known for a long time, and they don't remember the name. These are all little signs to look at. And these are things that maybe, again, it's not 24-hour care that you need, but it's something to look into. And we could start slowly. We start the process slowly so that they know the individual. So it's not just at the dire time of need.
Right.
And then we transition into when it's mostly needed. But we could always start with a few hours just to transition them when you see them, failing a little bit at their mind, and just little triggers that you'll find.
Right. Right. And you guys do more than just companion care and caring like that. You do like puzzles and all kinds of things.
We do. Like, we've found that there's a lot of, especially with Alzheimer's patients, with dementia patients, there's a lot of things you could do. I have, family members that'll leave an iPad at the home and they could play a game of Sudoku with the aid. Something as simple as going through old family albums. Again, we're keeping them at home with the integrity of their home. So they might have a closet full of old family albums of their kids when they were growing up, anything to that factor. And the person will just sit with them. And just by reiterating, oh, this was my son, this was my daughter, this was their wedding, this was him when he was a baby, that all helps. And it's not a clinical taking anything that we have to do clinically, but it's just the everyday companionship that's going to help them.
Yeah, I love that. So let's talk about the different kinds of placement services that you all offer, because it's not just sort of like one size fits all. You talked a little bit about you're going to personalize based on the individual's interest, but there's also types of caregivers and levels to their certification and their training. So talk to us a little bit about that.
We have what we place are mainly 3 different type of individuals. We either place home health aides, certified nursing assistants, or we place RNs.
Okay.
The most common person that we're going to place in a home is either a home health aide or a CNA. They're interchangeable. They have, what they're going to do is they're going to help with their activities of daily living. The activities of daily living are what we take for granted. Everything from grooming, from preparing a light meal, from light housekeeping, take them to a doctor's appointment, anything that they need for their personal care, that's where they're going to step in. So they're going to help them with preparing breakfast and making sure that they eat and they have their medications in the morning, making sure that they bathe that day, which is very important, especially for, I keep on mentioning mental health, but it's important, especially with COVID, with making sure that they're not just falling lonely at home. So they're going to help them, the aides, which are the certified nursing assistants and the home health aides, they're going to help them with those aspects of it. If they need a higher level of care, then we could place an RN, which is a registered nurse. At times, the family feels more comfortable in someone going in and taking their vitals, someone making sure for that day, again, like you mentioned, a family member living in New York or living in another state, just making sure that they're going to be getting their blood pressure, making sure that they're where they need to be clinically or medically for that day or that week.
Yeah, it really invaluable.
It
really,
really is.
invaluable. So one of the other things that you guys do is you have sort of a separate, but not really like a separate company, right? Like a separate entity that also does therapy.
We do. We've since opened up 2 years ago. We opened up 24/7 home health care.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do is we do skilled care as well. And we also do physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. This is important because when the healthcare insurance, you have a certain amount of benefits, and those benefits are going to run out. When those benefits run out and you feel like you still need a little bit more therapy, you still need that physical therapy to get, whether it's yourself or mom and dad or your loved one where they need to be, that's where we come in. It is private duty, and we do take long-term care insurance. But it's something that's beneficial. We service a lot of clients that come in from out of town, and their insurances aren't available to be used here, let's say in Miami, Florida, or in the state of Florida. So that's when it comes in that it's private duty, and they're going to get the same level of care, if not higher. Again, we follow our same protocol. We make sure it's the proper fit. We make sure that it's the skilled nurse that has the expertise that they need for that person, the physical therapist, the speech therapist that has that expertise for what you're looking for.
I love that. So what are some examples of a time that someone might need that service? Would it be after surgery? Is it
It all depends. It all depends. We do have clients. Let's say we have a client that came in from out of the country.
Okay.
And they came in to Miami, Florida, specifically because of the care after a catastrophic accident.
Oh.
So they had a catastrophic accident. Now they're getting the care that they need at University of Miami. They're doing a lot better, and their insurance isn't going to kick in. So we come in and we help them. We're doing physical therapy. We're doing occupational therapy. We're doing speech therapy, all at the home setting, which is beneficial to the client, to the patient, and in the comfort of their own home, helping them progress, and they progress daily. It's something that with the help of the proper individuals, the proper caregivers and medical staff, they progress, and we're there to help them and watch them succeed in what their goals are.
I love it. So really, it seems like no matter what someone's physical health need is, that it sounds like you have a solution for almost everything.
We always say we're a solutions company. What we do is we find a solution for you. What fits for one person might not be the exact fit for what you might need.
Right.
Maybe we have two loved ones and they might both be suffering from Alzheimer's, but you have someone that likes to go out, someone that likes to go get their hair done, someone that likes to go have lunch, and then there might be someone that's a little bit more secluded that wants to be at home, wants to be reading a book, and we'll find a solution for whatever it is you need.
I love that. Super, super awesome. So what are some steps that someone can take to have a caregiver placed for their loved one or even for themselves, right? Sometimes that happens too.
Absolutely. We have a lot of clients that call for themselves.
Yeah.
That they'll say, I'm having a hip replacement, and I'm going to need someone just for a few days. You know, when I get home, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know what the mobility is going to be, just as a watchful eye to make sure that they don't fall. What you could always do is they could reach out to us at 855-NURSE-44. And they could call us. We answer the phone like Misty had mentioned earlier. Is it really 24 hours a day? It really is 24 hours a day. We'll get calls in the middle of the night, and there's always someone to answer your phone. And we take pride in that. That's very important because let's say you might be calling different time zone for a family member that's in Miami, but they're in California. The times might not coincide, but we're there to help us. We're there also on social media. We're on the internet. You could always look up our website. It's www.24-7nursingcare.com, and they could reach out to us at any time.
Awesome. 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 And you'll see their contact information is scrolling on the screen right there. You can use that to get a hold of them, whether you want their nursing services or that second therapy service that they also offer. So I am really curious, what is the services that are most in demand right now?
Right now, I would say the services that are most in demand would be the aides, would be either a home health aide or a certified nursing assistant. Again, we just went through the pandemic, COVID. We had a lot of individuals that didn't want their elderly loved ones at home alone. And that would be where the aide falls into place. That's just companionship, making sure that their activities of daily living are done, keeping them at home, keeping them comfortable, and that would be an aide. That would be right now, both in Miami-Dade and Broward County, what we would be referring most at this time.
Interesting. So, all right. So when you're out in your community, we talked a little bit about how you guys are networking and you're out there in the community and you're getting involved in different things. What are some other things that you all are doing to build your business? Obviously, testimonials and referrals are huge, which you guys have really thrived off of that, right?
Right. And referrals are probably the number one source. We go to networking events. We talk to everybody. I don't just target someone that's going to be working at a facility or someone that's going to be working. Everyone is a referral. I speak to a lot of people. I have a lot of friends that call for services. It's probably our number one source of business would be referrals. And I take pride in what we do. I take pride in what our office staff does.
Right.
We go the extra mile. I always say we always have to strive and give white glove service. If you go the extra mile, people are going to remember you. And we want to give that good referral, that good care to your loved one. We want to make sure that they're getting exactly what they're needing, exactly what they're expecting, and just the outcome that they want from their loved one.
Yeah, I really, really love that. And I know you guys work really, really hard too. And speaking of that white glove service that you just mentioned, I mean, we've spoken before also about how if somebody calls and, a caregiver, they're people too. So like if there's something changes in their life, you will immediately place that person or as quickly as possible to make sure there's no lapse in service, right?
We always make sure they call our office staff, and we always make sure that it's something that we're on top of. Even if the dynamic is going to change, maybe mom or dad had to go to the hospital and they're in the ER. We don't know. Are they going to get discharged? Are they going to get admitted? Can they go back home? Absolutely. We're going to make sure that whatever time it is, we're going to get the caregiver back at home so that they're back into the comfort of where they need to be.
Yeah, I think that flexibility is so huge. Not just the personalization and the service that you all offer, but the fact that you're so flexible and accommodating because, I mean, healthcare, that's just the way it is, right? I mean, you don't know.
And it's very important because like you said, we don't know.
Right.
And maybe mom fell and maybe she had to go to the hospital. Maybe she didn't. The paramedics might have come and everything is fine. They're just leaving her there. You could call us and we could work on getting your referral of an aide as soon as possible. I mean, sometimes we could get someone there within 4 hours.
Wow.
Sometimes it might be a little bit more difficult, but for the most part, my staff works 24 hours around the clock and they do what they need to make sure that your loved one isn't left alone. So they're going to go the extra mile, and we'll always go the extra mile, whether we all get involved and make it happen.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and it has to be such a really ease people's minds.
It does. That's the main thing. The taking care of your loved one, sending the proper referral for your loved one, but having your peace of mind is priceless because you're going to be in a meeting, you're going to be at work, you're going to be with your kids at school, and you're not going to have to worry about your mom being taken care of or your dad being taken care of, and you're going to know that 24/7 nursing care is there to help. We're there to ease your mind and give peace of mind to yourself, not just the person that we're going to be taking care of.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that, like you said, that's priceless.
It really is.
That's really, really priceless. So as things move into the future, what are the future plans for 24/7 or maybe just in the industry in general? What are you guys looking at right now?
We're growing Broward County.
Yeah.
Have our strong footprint in Dade County. We're quickly growing Broward County, and we just want to make sure that we service the entire communities. We want to make sure that everyone that's out there knows about us and knows that we're there to care. When you call us, either myself or Louis, which is the administrator, we're going to get in our car and we're going to go out there and we're going to meet with you and we're going to assess, and you're going to have a face-to-face. So our importance is, and our value lies in making sure that you get that service in all of Dade and Broward County. And you know that if you need it, we're there to help. Not only with the care referrals, but as a one-stop shop of we're going to put you at peace. We're going to make sure that that's being done as well.
I love that passion because, a lot of times when we're thinking about like marketing and messaging and communication and building your brand, passion is just, I mean, it's right up there, and you can't fake that authenticity. You can't fake that passion. And so people can really see that. So when you guys are saying on your website, it says, we give free in-home consultations. And it's not just like a cheesy thing. It really means that they're going to get in their car and they're going to come and meet you and really legitimately, genuinely have a conversation with you.
And again, it's always going to be either Louis or myself that are going to go out, but we're going to get in our car, whether you call me on a Saturday and you feel sometimes we're taking care of the clients themselves. It's not a loved one that's calling for the services. And we're talking about a different generation. They feel more comfortable in one-on-one.
Right.
They feel more comfortable if I'm going to sit there in front of them and I'm going to tell them, this is how we can help you. This is how we could do this. That is how I believe we stand out. We're always going to give you that service. Whether you can't meet with me till 7 p.m. on a Friday night or on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m., it doesn't matter. We're going to be there and we're going to make sure that we give you the proper care, the proper attention, everything you deserve that you need. We're going to be there to help you.
And that's really dedicated. And that's not just dedicated, but that just talk about that white glove, talk about going above and beyond, talk about passion. Like those are the things that are coming through here, because how many people do you know that are going to get up at 7 a.m. on their Saturday and go and travel to meet with your parent or whoever it is in their home to try and ease their mind into and answer all their questions so that they're comfortable when this provider comes into their home, right? And that you're able to match them with that individual who's right for them. I mean, just that level is really outstanding. And it's no wonder that you guys are just
and that's how we get that matching factor, that correct fit for your loved one, by getting to know you, by you telling us a little bit about what they like, what they don't like. Tell us who they were. We want to know who they were. Were they an executive? Were they somebody that, they served as a teacher? Were they anybody? We want to know who they were, and that's going to help us provide better care for them, provide that good fit for them.
Right. And I love that you just said that. We want to know who they were, because even at that age, you still are who you are, right? And you were the same person for decades, and you were working in this industry for decades, and you had all these interests and likes, and you're still that person, even if you can't fully live in that capacity
and
anymore.
It's important for them to feel that they're still that person.
Right.
They don't want to be treated as an individual that is unable to do something and they're handicapped in some way. So we want that integrity, that passion to who they were. We want to carry that on for them. And that's important.
And I have to imagine too, that helps with sort of the longevity and sort of the benefits that they'll see through this healthcare versus, going in a setting that's outside of the home and that they are not familiar with. We've seen studies that's not as helpful in terms, it's more stressful. So it actually makes that process of healing more difficult for people. But I have to imagine too, being treated as a person is also really helpful and beneficial towards your overall well-being, not just mental health, but I mean, that feeds into your physical and everything else.
Absolutely. And that's where we're there again. That's how we strive. That's the importance in it of us.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. So I just got the signal from our producer, Word, believe it or not, that is his name. And he's telling us that we got to wrap it up. So is there anything that we haven't covered today that you feel that, I got to say this?
I think we've covered everything, Missy. I just want the community to know that we are in Dade and Broward County. We do what we do because of the passion we have. We started this business because of it, and we're going to continue it because of it. We are strong in our community, and we want to make sure that it's something that the community is aware of. We're here to help, whether it's a parent, whether it's a loved one, whether it's for yourself. We're always here to help.
I love that. And I think that passion really came through today. So I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you, Misty, for having me.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to come from the show and tell us a little bit about what you're doing. And I'm sure you probably have to jet off to another meeting or appointment or something somewhere. But so we won't keep you too much longer. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today. Thank you again. Her contact information is on the screen. Give them a call. Again, there's no charge just to talk to somebody over there about your concerns. Just give them that call. Ask them your questions, whether you hire them or not. I mean, they're really, really legit there for you. And I think that, again, that speaks really volumes. So thank you guys for being here today for another Marketing Monday. We'll be back next week with another awesome guest that's going to talk to us about his new book that's coming out. I cannot wait. This is going to be an awesome one too. And thank you again for being here today, Marries.
Thank you, Misty.
And I'll see you guys next week. Make it an awesome week. Stay hydrated.